Church Musicals Incorporated is a team of individuals whose desire it is to create high-quality musical theater with the church in mind. Our passion is to create Broadway-style musicals that are very entertaining, that are easy to produce, and that present biblical truth in a very non-threatening manner. John and I have been writing music and musicals together for quite some time, and in the course of writing our last couple of musicals, realized that no one was addressing the issue of musical theater for the church, and we realized that there was a need for that. There was a void in the marketplace, and we set about to fill that void.
I think the minister of music that wants something fresh and innovative for his choir to perform.
I believe in miracles, and that God has the power and might to create an event that's 100%.
Even though we call them musicals, what the church has been doing for a number of years is actually cantatas, songs threaded together with narration. And the modern church cantata was pioneered by John W. Peterson back in the 1950s, and that's basically what the church has been doing ever since.
And I started going to Broadway musicals. I would go to New York and see show after show and see the musicals that would come through our town, touring shows. And as I would watch these musicals with passionate music, I would be moved, and I kept asking myself the question, why can't we in the church, when we are presenting such a wonderful story,
we have the best story of all to tell.
The best story of all to tell, why not be able to tell it in a way that really grips people and really moves them, that there's passion in it and that there's heart and there's a story that they can follow, and they walk out changed and they walk out moved. So that's really what we set about to do. Very much like a Broadway musical, our songs have imaginative and sophisticated lyrics, memorable melodies, strong storylines in the musical.
The songs are really character-driven.
The songs are character-driven. They flow out of the story, so so it propels the story along, just like you would see on Broadway. We realized that a musical like this could be intimidating for some people, but we purposely create them very simple, very easy to produce, keeping the limitations of a church performance in mind. So from the standpoint of set changes, scene changes, costume changes, things like that, it's kept very simple, very easy to produce.
The cast requirements are generally rather small, but they are flexible. The songs are very singable, but like a Broadway dinner theater presentation, there are production numbers, there's comedy, and there's just great entertainment value.
Very Bible-based. It makes great outreach for the community, a way to get people into the church, give them a wonderful, entertaining evening.
With a message that really touches their heart. One Bethlehem Night has kind of a Fiddler on the Roof feel. Since it's set in Bethlehem, we definitely wanted to capture that feel in the music. Where Is It Written, for example, is a song that the guests sing as they arrive at the inn, complaining about the taxes they're having to pay to the Romans. It's a fun song for the cast and for the audience.
It's God who looks on the ways of man, but where is it written that these Roman schnooks are part of his eternal plan?
I think that my time is at hand, but Lord, could this be what you planned?
There are also some very poignant and tender moments in the music. For example, Mary's song, This Most Unlikely Night, where she comes to grips with the fact that God's son would be born in a stable. Finally, she realizes that God is still in control, and even in this dirty cattle stall.
I wouldn't have minded a shed or a hovel, but here I must clear off my bed with a shovel.
Bits are his, if only we will mind our business.
That's the Way It Is in Israel is a song for the women in the cast. It's a tongue-in-cheek comment on the position of women in first century Israel. They can really have a ball with this and play it up. There are a lot of lines to play for laughs.
Abraham's a very good provider, but he's tighter than a vice.
My Benjamin who freely have another,
Or my mother, or Christ. They will argue the scriptures that confound them till their tempers start to flash. Then they'll take it out on those around them,
but they won't take out the trash.
And then there's One Blessed Hope, which is a big cast ballad, which begins with a rabbi's prayer, and then it unites all of the guests in a common longing for this coming Messiah. And it also foreshadows the end of the musical, where Jesus is born. There's another lovely duet between Mary and Sarah, the innkeeper's wife, called Like Father, Like Son, where they actually sing to their children, Sarah to her son and Mary to her unborn son, Jesus, about the life that God has in store for them.
The life you become, like Father, like Son.
You're frozen to the spot, then the angel says, fear not, a child.
Angels, Angels Everywhere is the shepherd's song, and it's pure comic relief. The shepherds come bursting into the inn to tell Simeon and the rabbi of what they've seen in the heavens that night.
There were angels, angels everywhere, with angel wings and angel hair appearing at the twinkle of an eye. Millions of them lighting up the sky. I was frightened as a goat, and my heart was in my throat, and I thought that any minute I would die. That's 100% out of my reach and out of...
As the innkeeper begins to put the pieces of the puzzle together, there's a great song that the rabbi sings to him called I Believe in Miracles.
Right. Helps the innkeeper to understand the mysteries of God a little more, and that God is capable of producing a miracle right in his own backyard.
Joseph said that he talked with an angel. Since when does that make him a fool? It's not nearly as strange as a heated exchange old Balaam had with his mule. Oh, I believe in miracles, and that God makes his miracles great. The chances were...
The musical, of course, ends with the birth of Christ and with the transformation of the skeptical innkeeper who, after seeing Christ with his own eyes, is compelled to go out and tell every village and town.
Every village and town will turn